I never thought a simple work event would change everything. But then again, maybe I did. Deep down. Sia, you should come with us after the office party, Nathan said, flashing that damn confident smile. We're all hitting that new bar, downtown. I forced a laugh, shaking my head. I can't. Eric's waiting at home with the kids. Nathan raised an eyebrow. Come on, live a little. Besides, why don't I just come with you? Bring a bottle. Keep it casual. I blinked. You want to come to my house? He shrugged like it was no big deal. Why not? You always talk about how grounded you are. Prove it. Grounded, I echoed, suddenly self-conscious. I don't know if that's... Relax, he interrupted, voice smooth. I'm serious. It'll be fun. I hesitated. Eric's tired face, the kids bouncing around, the familiar chaos. But Nathan's energy was contagious. I wanted to feel that spark again, even if just for a little while. Okay, I said before I could talk myself out of it, but just for a bit. Walking in the door, I heard Eric's lazy greeting, barely a glance toward Nathan. Oh, hey. I felt the heat creep up my neck. Eric, this is Nathan, my boss. Nathan plopped down on the couch like he owned the faux place, setting the wine bottle on the counter with a confident thud. Nice setup you've got here, man. Real cozy, Eric grunted, eyes glued to the TV. I bit my lip, wanting to bridge the silence but not sure how. Nathan turned to Eric. So, what do you do again? Eric muttered. Shipping center. Nathan laughed. No, smirked. Shipping center, huh? Must be tough work. Bet your back's killing you. Eric didn't flinch, but his jaw tightened. I caught the tension and swallowed. Nathan, maybe ease up a bit. Nathan waved me off, chuckling. I'm just joking around, but Eric's glare told me otherwise. I sank into a chair, trying to keep things light. So, Nathan, how was Italy? You always have the best stories. Nathan launched into tales, full of energy and charm. Meanwhile, Eric sat stiff, arms crossed, silent. Hey, Eric, I nudged softly. You okay? He nodded but didn't meet my eyes. Then Nathan dropped the bomb. Ever think about what life would be like if you'd married someone like me? I laughed, trying to diffuse it. Nathan, come on. Eric's voice cut through, sharp and low. You think that's funny? I froze. It's a joke. Lighten. Up. He stood up, voice trembling. Man comes into my house, mocks me, and you just laugh. I rolled my eyes. Don't be so sensitive. Sensitive? Eric echoed. I'm in my own home, and you're sitting there grinning like it's a comedy show. Nathan finally raised his hands. Hey, I'm out of here. Eric didn't say goodbye. He just walked out the back door. The door slammed behind him, and my heart pounded like I'd lost a fight. Nathan sipped his wine, calm as ever. Did I cross a line? I shook my head. He always gets like this, but I knew it wasn't true. Something broke tonight. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying every word. Nathan's laughter, Eric's silence, my laughter. Why did I laugh? Was I really so desperate for someone to admire me that I let it happen? Tomorrow, Eric would come back. He had to. But tonight, the calm was just the eye of the storm. Nathan didn't hold back. It started as playful banter, but I could see the way Eric's shoulders tensed with every word. So, Eric, Nathan said, swirling his wine. How's it feel knowing you're stuck moving boxes all day while I'm out making deals and closing? Big projects? Eric didn't look up from the TV, but I saw his jaw clench. I bit my lip, wanting to say something but unsure what. Nathan, maybe ease up. Nathan shrugged, grinning. I'm just messing around. You gotta lighten up, man. Eric's voice came low and sharp. I'm fine. Nathan's smirk widened. Sure you are. Must be tough, huh? Standing behind a counter all day? I shifted uncomfortably in my seat. That's not fair, Nathan. Nathan leaned back, eyes gleaming. Fair? Life isn't fair, Callie. Eric needs to toughen up. I glanced at Eric, who finally turned to look at Nathan, eyes narrowing. You don't know me. Guess I don't, Nathan replied smoothly. But I know a man who sits on his couch watching TV instead of fighting for more. Eric stood up, voice rising. I work hard. I provide. Nathan laughed, but it wasn't friendly. Provide. Folding laundry. Watching the kids play Roblox. That's your idea of providing? I gasped, heart pounding. Nathan! Eric's face was red now, fury simmering just beneath the surface. I caught Nathan's eyes and saw the challenge there, like he was daring Eric to say more. I wanted to step in. Eric, ignore him! But Eric wasn't ignoring. He took a step forward, fists clenched. You don't know what my life's like. Nathan shrugged again, voice dripping with sarcasm. Maybe not, but I know I'm not sitting here, getting mocked in my own home. I swallowed hard, feeling caught in the middle. Nathan's words stung, but Eric's reaction scared me. Callie, Eric said quietly, voice rough. You think this is funny? You just sat there laughing while he threw shade at me. I opened my mouth to explain, but nothing came out. Because, honestly, I'd laughed. I couldn't help it. Nathan's joke was sharp, clever, and I wanted to believe it was harmless. I wasn't laughing at you, I said, voice trembling. I was laughing at the joke. Eric shook his head, bitter. You think that makes it better? Nathan raised his glass, amused. I'm just keeping it real. Eric's eyes locked on me. You don't see it, do you? You don't see how this whole thing makes me feel. Eric, come on, don't be so sensitive. I tried to smile, but it felt fake. Sensitive. He spat the word. I'm supposed to take this? Be the butt of some arrogant jerk's jokes in my own house? Nathan leaned forward, voice low and teasing. Maybe if you had some ambition, you wouldn't be so defensive. Eric's fist slammed on the table. Get out, I gasped. Eric! Nathan just laughed, standing up. All right, I'm out. Eric didn't say goodbye. He just turned and walked out the back door. The sound of the door slamming echoed in the silence Nathan and I shared. Nathan took a slow sip of his wine, eyes flicking to me. Did I cross a line? I shook my head, feeling numb. He always gets like this. Nathan smirked. Sure, always. I stared at the empty doorway, heart hammering. That night, something shifted. I wanted to convince myself it was just a fight, nothing more. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. I felt guilty for laughing. Guilty for letting Nathan say those things. Guilty for not defending Eric more fiercely. But also, I felt a strange thrill. Nathan had something I wanted. Confidence, power, respect. Eric, he was just there. Folding laundry. Watching TV. Being forgotten. The room felt heavy, like the air itself was thick with unsaid words and broken trust. I bit my lip, trying to push the doubts away, but the cracks had started to show. I wasn't sure if I could fix them. Nathan broke the silence. You okay? I forced a smile. Yeah, just tired. He nodded, as if he didn't believe me. And maybe he was right, because that night, I realized I was standing on the edge of something dangerous, something that could destroy everything, and I wasn't sure who was going to fall first. The bed was cold. I reached over, expecting Eric to be there, but all I found was the empty space beside me. He was gone. No note, no message, just gone. I grabbed my phone, heart pounding, and texted, "Where are you?" No reply. I called, straight to voicemail. I tried again. Still nothing. My mind raced. Is he mad? Is he avoiding me? Did I push him too far? But I couldn't help the sting. The silence was deafening. I paced the living room, phone in hand, fingers tapping the screen, like if I pressed hard enough, he'd answer. Why won't you answer me? I whispered to the empty room. I wanted to call Brielle but hesitated. I hated feeling weak. Finally, I dialed. Hey, she answered, voice tired but warm. Eric's gone. No texts, no calls, nothing. My voice cracked. Brielle sighed. Girl, men and their pride. You know how they get. I know, but this feels different. I'm scared. I swallowed. Scared? Why? He'll come back. Men just need to cool off sometimes. It's their dumb way of dealing. She chuckled softly. I wanted to believe her, but doubt gnawed at me. You think Nathan's words got to him? Of course. That man walked into your house and humiliated Eric. No wonder he's hiding. I chewed my lip. I laughed. I know, I shouldn't have, but it slipped out. I thought it was a joke. You made it worse by laughing in front of him, Brielle said bluntly. Pride's a fragile thing. I stared out the window. The evening settling around me like a heavy blanket. I'm not ready to admit I hurt him, I whispered. You don't have to admit it to me. Just to yourself. Her voice softened. I hung up and sat on the couch, feeling the walls closing in. My phone buzzed. A message from Eric. No. It was from my boss, Nathan. You okay? Heard about last night? I hesitated, then typed back. I don't know. Minutes passed without a reply. The silence was crushing. I glanced at the kids' rooms, hearing faint laughter through the walls. How was I supposed to fix this? I thought about calling Eric's friend Daryl. Hey, have you seen Eric today? I asked. Not since yesterday. Why? His voice was groggy. He's gone. No word. Sounds like he's blowing off steam. Men do that. I sighed, anger mixing with worry. Call him again, Daryl said. Maybe he'll pick up. I tried but went to voicemail. I felt helpless. Later, I found myself scrolling social media, drowning in memes about self-love and toxic relationships. One video caught my eye. Some guy talking about men suffering in silence, too proud to speak. I rolled my eyes. Cry me a river. But still, it stuck in my head. By midnight, I was still awake, phone in hand. I texted Eric one last time. Please just say you're okay. No response. I tossed the phone aside, tears burning behind my eyes. Was this really how it was going to be? The silent war had begun. The front door creaked open. I looked up, heart pounding. Eric stepped in, hoodie pulled low, smelling like stale beer and fried food. Where the hell have you been? I asked, hands on my hips. He didn't answer, just walked past me like I was a stranger. Eric, I'm talking to you. He paused, eyes dull. Didn't feel like talking. Well, you could have said that instead of disappearing. He scoffed. You worry? That's rich. My jaw tightened. I was worried. He shook his head, slumping into the chair. You only worry when you can't control something. What's that supposed to mean? He looked up, tired. I'm suffocating here, Callie. You don't protect me. You don't see me. I blinked. I've been working, taking care of the kids, keeping us afloat. He snorted. You call that protecting me? You're busy laughing at me, letting your boss disrespect me in my own home. The words hit like a slap. I didn't mean to. You laughed while he mocked me. How does that make you feel? I was caught off guard. I thought it was just a joke. Doesn't feel like a joke to me. I folded my arms, fighting tears. So now I'm the villain? He looked away. Maybe you never noticed how hard it's been for me. My voice cracked. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I never wanted that. He sighed deeply. I don't know if sorry is enough. The house felt cold, heavy. I don't know what to do anymore, I whispered. He met my eyes, pain there. Neither do I. I swallowed hard. I don't want to lose you. He shook his head slowly. Maybe we're already lost. I wanted to scream, to beg, but all I could do was stand there trembling. You say you love me, but your actions say otherwise. I'm scared, Eric. Scared of losing everything. He looked away again. Maybe we lost it the day we stopped listening, The silence between us was louder than words. I realized then I wasn't just angry at him. I was angry at myself for not seeing the cracks, for letting things fall apart, for laughing when I should have protected. He stood, grabbing his coat. I need space. Please don't go. But he was already walking out. The door clicked shut, and I was left with nothing but the echoes of what we used to be. Emma, stop whining about that tablet, I snapped, slamming the lunch bag on the kitchen counter. She shot back, Mum, Logan still can't tie his shoes. And you're yelling at me. I rubbed my temples, heart racing. I'm trying to do a million things at once. Can you please just help him? Logan looked up at me, eyes wide, silent. Always silent. Why? Won't you say anything, Logan? I whispered. He shrugged, avoiding my gaze. Eric sat on the couch, arms crossed, staring at the TV like it was a wall. Eric, I called, voice strained. Can you please help? No response. Seriously, Eric, I shouted. He didn't move. Paced, voice rising. You're here but not here. This silence. What is it supposed to do? Emma's lip trembled. Mom, I sighed, voice breaking. I'm sorry, Em. I'm just overwhelmed. She hugged Logan, both kids looking so small. I scrolled through my phone, drowning in memes about self-love and toxic relationships. One said, sometimes you have to love yourself enough to walk away. I laughed bitterly. Just then, my phone buzzed. A text from Eric. Don't wait up. My chest tightened. I stared at the screen, disbelief burning. I called Brielle, voice shaking. He told me not to wait up. Can you believe that? She sighed. Sigh? Men get like this when they're hurt. You might have pushed him too far. I'm not taking sides, I snapped, tears slipping. You're acting like you don't care, but you do. And that's what's driving him away. I ran my hands through my hair, desperate. I don't know what to do. Brielle's voice softened. Maybe start by listening. Not just hearing, but really listening. I hung up, sinking onto the couch. The kids were quiet now, the tension thick. Eric's silence was the loudest sound in the room. I wiped my tears and whispered, what have we become? Days passed, no calls, no texts, just silence. I stared at my phone like it was a lifeline, willing it to buzz with a message from Eric. Nothing. I tried calling Daryl, Eric's friend. Have you seen him? I asked, voice tight. Nah, Saye. Not since the other day, he mumbled, half asleep. Any idea where he might be? Daryl shrugged. Maybe blowing off steam. Men do that. I hung up, heart sinking. I checked traffic reports around his work. No accidents, no delays, no signs of Eric anywhere. I couldn't shake the thought gnawing at me. Is he with someone else? I hated myself for even thinking it, but every unanswered call, every missed text felt like confirmation. I sat on the couch, scrolling Instagram, drowning in quotes about betrayal and self-love. One meme caught my eye. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. I laughed bitterly. I typed a reckless message to Eric. Don't bother coming back tonight. I'm locking the door. I hit send before I could think twice. The silence afterward was suffocating. I stared at the screen for 10 minutes, waiting for the typing bubble to appear. Nothing. My chest tightened. The house felt emptier. I kept checking. The clock. AM. No message. I paced the living room, mind spinning. What had we become? A couple torn apart by silence and suspicion. The kids' laughter from the other room barely reached me. I wanted to scream, to cry, to fix this, but all I had was this crushing emptiness. My phone buzzed suddenly. Hope surged. But it wasn't Eric. It was a notification from Nathan. You okay? Heard things are rough. I ignored it, then deleted the message. This wasn't about Nathan. It was about Eric and me. I felt myself slipping into obsession, watching every moment for signs, analyzing every word he ever said. Was I crazy? Maybe. But I didn't care, because I was broken, and I didn't know how to be whole again. The front door clicked late. My heart jumped, hopeful. Eric stepped inside, hoodie up, eyes tired and distant. "Where were you?" My voice barely held steady. He didn't answer, just dropped his keys on the table and sank into a chair. I paced, frustration bubbling. "You disappear all day, no calls, no texts, and now you act like I'm the enemy." He looked up, voice low. "I'm tired, Callie. Tired of this." "Tired of what?" I demanded. "Of pretending," he said, voice barely above a whisper. I scoffed. "Pretending? Like I don't care?" He shook his head. "No, you don't see me. You don't hear me." I felt the sting. "I've been trying. Trying isn't enough." He grabbed his coat, eyes hard. "I don't want a submissive wife. I want peace." My breath caught. "Peace? Is that what this is about?" He nodded slowly. "We're not partners anymore. You're my competition." "Competition?" I laughed bitterly. "I thought we were a team." "Not anymore." He zipped his jacket. "I'm done." Done. I stepped closer, voice shaking. "You're just walking out?" "Yes." He glanced at me one last time. "I need space." The silence between us was heavy, unbearable. "I don't want to lose you," I whispered. He shook his head. "You already lost me." He opened the door, stepped outside. The click of the door closing behind him echoed in my chest. I stood frozen, heart breaking. The man I knew was gone, and so was our life together. The phone rang when I least expected it. I glanced at the caller, ID, an unknown number. My heart skipped. I answered, voice wary. "Is this Callie Thomas?" a smooth female voice asked. "Yes," I replied cautiously. "This is Angela from Bailey and Mears law firm. I'm calling on behalf of Eric Thomas regarding a pending legal matter." I felt the room tilt. "Legal matter?" "We're sending paperwork regarding the filing of a legal separation. Do you still reside at your current address?" My hands trembled, gripping the phone tighter. "Yes, I do." "Expect the documents within 2 to 3 business days. If you have questions, contact our office." The line went dead before I could speak again. I dropped the phone onto the counter, heart pounding. Legal separation. Without a word from Eric. Without a chance to talk. I sank onto the couch, the weight of betrayal pressing down. The kids' laughter echoed from the living room, innocent and unaware. How could I protect them from this war tearing us apart? I texted Brielle, voice shaky. "He's filing," without telling me. Her reply came quickly. "I'm so sorry, Chaya. That's cold. I don't know what to do," I whispered to the empty room. Brielle called. "You have to stay strong, for the kids, for yourself." "I want to fight," I said, biting my lip. "But it feels like I'm drowning." "You're not alone. I'm here." I wiped away a tear. "I thought we had something real, something worth saving." "Sometimes love isn't enough," Brielle said softly. The truth stung worse than any wound. I questioned everything, our vows, his promises, my own worth. But beneath the pain, a fire ignited. I would not let this break me. I would reclaim my dignity. For me, for my children. And even if love had failed, I would fight for justice. "Okay, Callie, tell me what brought you here today," my therapist said softly. I swallowed, heart pounding. "I'm broken," I admitted. She nodded. "That's a start." I told her about Eric, the silence, the betrayal, the legal papers I never saw coming. "I thought I knew myself," I whispered. "But I lost who I was in all this." Brielle called after my session. "How'd it go?" "Tough," I said. but I think I'm ready to face the truth. You're stronger than, I close my eyes, memories flooding back. The wedding vows, the smiles, the promises. I do, we said. For better or worse. I'd believed those words. Now, I was unsure, but I was tired of being the victim. I wanted to find myself again. One afternoon, Brielle and I sat in the park, watching the kids play. You look different, she said. Maybe I'm finally waking up, she smiled. You deserve peace, I nodded, feeling a fragile hope. One night, I stood in front of the mirror, tracing the ring Eric once slipped on my finger. It felt heavy, not with love, but with loss. I slid it off, setting it down. I choose me now, I said aloud. The journey wasn't over. I had scars to heal, but for the first time, I felt I could. I wasn't just surviving. I was reclaiming myself. I stood in the living room, phone trembling in my hand. I'd rehearsed this moment 100 times, but the nerves still burned. I dialed Eric's number. It rang once, twice, then went to voicemail. I left a message, voice steady but fierce. Eric, I know everything. The lies, the betrayal. It's over. I sent the same message to his friends, his affair partner, everyone who needed to know. Minutes later, my phone exploded with texts and calls. I didn't answer. I texted Brielle. It's done, I told them. She replied instantly. You're a warrior. The house felt lighter, even as chaos swirled outside. Later, Eric showed up, face pale, eyes full of regret. You shouldn't have done this, he whispered. I shouldn't have let you disrespect me, I shot back. He looked away, ashamed. For the first time, I felt in control. Not as Eric's wife, but as my own woman. I packed the remnants of our life into boxes, tears and anger mingling. One last look at the wedding photo on the mantel, smiling, faces frozen in time. I whispered, goodbye. I locked the door behind me, feeling the weight lift. Alone, yes, but stronger than ever. Not defined by his betrayal, but by my survival, and the life I would build from the ashes.